Shout out to the like 7 people who are watching and liking these, by the way. Y'all the real MVPs. What you want from the gas station. Hello, I'm Maria Bartolotta, and 2 weeks from right now, I will be in LA to bring my show, I've Grown Plenty Thanks, to the Hollywood Fringe Festival. I'll be at the 3 clubs. It's a dark comedy musical spectacular of me trying to figure out why love sucks for me. It's a great time. So today's confessions, I wanted to go to a series of stories that is very close to my heart. It's actually a section that's in the show, but I had to cut the stories for time. It's very sad. This section from the show is Hot Girl Fall, a very special time for me. Let's go. Let's go. It is Hot Girl Fall time. I was ready to have my long overdue sober hoe phase. And I learned so much from Hot Girl Fall. Like, mentally I learned a lot, obviously physically I learned a lot. I also learned a lot geographically. And as I said, there are a lot of great characters, like Christian Grey. The name is not an exaggeration. But today I'm going to talk about the neighbor. We matched on Tinder. Yes, I said Tinder. This was Hot Girl Fall time. And he had on his profile and was upfront that he was in an ethically non-monogamous relationship. I had never even heard of that. I never dabbled in anything like that on purpose. This was all very new and exciting, question mark, for me. Oh, and we figured out that we are literally neighbors. That's why he's the neighbor, because he's my neighbor. Lives right down the street. I was so intrigued by these circumstances that, me being the freaking dork that I am, I look up and read every article about ethical non-monogamy that exists on the internet. I'm like looking at these at work and like going to my coworkers. I'm like, did you guys know this? Did you guys? It's all about communication, guys. Wow. What a concept, that communication is important in any kind of relationship. And so he comes over, and the first time he comes over, he's 100% trashed. Wasted. To the point where I'm like, we probably shouldn't do anything. But he sat on my couch. I feel like this was the first time he was ever like doing this, like outside of his relationship. That was the vibe I was getting. Because he wanted to like drunkenly sit on my couch and get to know me. Basically, since he was so drunk, I just got to hear all about him, which I was fine with. I was just sitting back and enjoying the show. What a fascinating man. He lives in Queens, where I live, and he doesn't work. So immediately I'm like, oh, he lives in his parents' basement. No, it turns out he got rich real young, and so he doesn't have to work. And so I'm like, interesting. And then he's had like all these different lives, but we're like the same age. And he's just like saying all this stuff, and I'm like, huh. So nothing really happens that time, but then he wants to see me again? I mean, I am a very good listener. I am good to conversate with. But I am like so intrigued about him because it's such a mystery. I need to know. And like all my friends who I was telling were like, we need to know. So, you know, everyone has that one FBI friend, right? I gave my FBI friend all the details, which should be a good amount of details. And she finds nothing. Like, nothing on this dude. It's weird. It's very weird. So I was going over to his place for the first time. He had always been to my place. Remember, he is in a relationship. Super nice apartment. It's a 2-bedroom. He wants to go in their room, which I found weird. And there's just stuff like in vacuum sealed bags everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, am I about to be an American Psycho? Like, oh my God. At the same time, I was like, nah. Dude was skilled, okay? I'm sorry. So we start hooking up on their bed. And part of me is like, do I even tell this part? But it's just such a classic, like, story that I feel like I have to. We're hooking up, and all of a sudden he's like, babe, you're bleeding. Yeah. All over their bed. All over their bed. Yup. My ass, in between like being absolutely mortified and embarrassed, is like, he called me babe. Oh my god. Mystery on the internet, American Psycho, Carrie all over the bed. He called me babe. And believe it or not, he saw me again after that. I still have yet to solve the mystery about who this man is and what his deal is. There's been a small update. Apparently they got married. He hit me up. Well, we're actually married now. We don't really want to do much outside of the marriage. So, would you be down with? And I'm like, yeah, Patchy has a lot of feelings about it. I'm not opposed. It's not the threesome I'm opposed to. I really hope my dad sees this. It's the like being a third to a married couple with a dude I've already hooked up with several times. That kind of weirds me out. You know what I'm saying? Plus, we'd probably be at their place in their bedroom. Like, I menstruated all over this bed. Just wouldn't exactly set the mood. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I left it with him. Oh, and I run into them on the street all the time. And it's 100% like, I mean, I'd still climb him like a tree though, I'm not gonna lie. Come see my show!